Hello, I'm Marjolaine Brugman. This is my daughter Skylar, and we're welcoming you to your Aero Pilates workout package, which is including a full body strength training, flexibility training routine using the foot bar, followed by a calorie burning cardio routine using the cardio rebounder. So we're going to begin with the foot bar, lying down to do the warm up. Place your reformer on 2 or 3 cords, lie down with your head on the headrest so that it's comfortable, and place your feet in the V position on the foot bar. So first of all, let's just inhale and create neutral spine. Lengthen your spine and relax your neck and your shoulders. And then as you exhale, you extend your legs all the way. The feeling is zipping up this area in the inner thighs, so those adductors are really working, but you're not snapping your knees. It's a gentle movement, and there's control on the in as well as on the out. They're equally important. Keep your heels high in the air and don't let them separate. That's the really tricky part. That will engage the inner thighs. The neck and the shoulders are relaxed and the spine remains in neutral. 10 repetitions in V position.
2 more.
1, last one. Then the next position for your feet is arches. So arches is really feet on top of the foot bar. They're together in this one and the knees are together. Unless your abs are really weak and you feel like your lower back is a problem, you can separate them, but I'd like you to try, put them together, and the feet are really curled over the foot bar. And inhale and then exhale as you extend all the way and bend. 10 repetitions. I like to use the cue of thinking of a hot cup of tea or coffee sitting on your belly. And as soon as you have that imaginary cup there, you begin to understand that the pelvis is not allowed to tip or tilt or twist or move from side to side. The goal of this warm-up footwork is to disassociate the pelvis from the legs. So you really want to have a stable pelvis while your legs do all the things that they do in life: run, move, walk, bend, etc. So again, where do you feel the stretch? Do you feel a stretch in your feet? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll get a little cramp in your feet the first time you do this. Just work through it, stretch it out, and then continue. You want your feet to become flexible, and I love that Joe Pilates insisted that we do all of our footwork and Pilates actually in bare feet. I want to introduce pulses. So just go out a little bit and come in, out, and do 10 pulses. So with this foot position of arches, what's really working now are the quadriceps. Where do you feel it burning?
Here.
Yeah, in the main muscles of the legs. So we want to make those nice and strong.
And I also noticed that when I focus on keeping my knees together, I engage the inner thigh as well.
Yes, and we want to do that because really the girdle of strength that we talk about all the time and that core involves the inner thighs. So the next position after arches is heels. So go into heels in the center of the bar, feet are flexed, extend all the way 10 times, and then we'll do some pulses. You're doing a really nice job of not snapping the knees. Sky used to have hyperextended knees and other joints, and through Pilates she's really been able to strengthen those joints so well that they're no longer overextending when she straightens her leg. Don't forget the cup of tea on your belly, and lengthen and feel your neck and your shoulders relaxed. Arms are long by your side. So 10 and then little pulses. So with the flexed feet, you're getting a nice stretch in the Achilles and through the calf.
You can also feel it more in the abdominals when you do those pulses.
Yes. Well, because you have to move in and out, and that starts from the core. So after the heels, and now let's do heel lowers. So toes back on the bar. We want to stretch out the back of the leg, and now so lower your heels all the way through and lift and lower and lift and lower. Good. Another great exercise if you've been wearing the wrong shoes all day. Fantastic, feels great on your feet. Remember that the knees, the feet, the hips, they all stay in alignment with each other. And as you bend your knees in this whole series, you want to make sure that the kneecap faces the ceiling and that it stays aligned over the foot. So have you done 10?
Yes.
All right, so now wide position. Great. So straighten and bend. Good. You're initiating movement from the core. This is really where that notion begins. Pulling the belly button down into your spine, starting in that position, keeping that neutral spine throughout the movement. And the legs finally become so strong and they're not relying on your lower back to make the movement. They're actually working from the muscles in the leg. Now 100. So chair position, you're on 2 chords, which is perfect. Pick up the straps, arms straight up into the ceiling, and so we're going to go through parts 1 through 4, and this is really teaching you the 100. So the first one is just arm lowers. So again, as you exhale and push away with your arms, you feel your shoulder blades coming together and sliding down the back. Spine remains in neutral. Now lift the head, that's part 2, so 10 reps of each. So as Skye lifts her head, we're really seeing it as a natural extension of her spine. She's not trying to scrunch her chin, she keeps it nice and long and lifts all the way up to the point of the scapula, the shoulder blades on the platform.
9.
And part 3 is also extending the legs. So lift your head, lower your arms, extend your legs to 45. Good. Of course, now engaging way more abdominals. You can have pointed toes or you can have flexed toes. If it's too hard on your lower back, keep your legs in chair position or lift the legs to 90 degrees. Maybe show a couple here. So the tailbone does not come off the platform. Good. Now go back to 45. All right. And now the full 100 is 5 counts in and 5 counts out. So you're inhaling for 5 counts, beating your arms. The energy's coming out of her fingertips this way. Her head is a natural extension of her spine. Her abs are really working. It's a breathing exercise too. So it's 5 in, 5 out, 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 out. And just don't let this pooch. Make sure you're pulling your belly button down to your spine. That's enough for now. We'll work up to 100 of those in one of our future DVDs. All right, so after the 100, we do legs in straps. So the correct way to get your feet into the straps is to straighten your leg all the way, put one foot in the first strap, push against that strap, and then put the other one in and extend to 45 degrees. The first exercise is leg lowers. So really from 45, you raise to 90. Skye's obviously quite flexible in her hamstrings. Let's just show people who may not be that they really just go to 90 to 45. You can point and flex your feet depending on whether you want a little bit of an extra stretch. You can also turn your feet out, but we're going to keep them parallel for now. The important thing is to push the tailbone down into the platform. Do not let it lift up because you want to maintain that neutral pelvis, meaning a little bit of your tailbone and your rib cage is down. There's a tiny little bit of space in the lumbar curve. Every time you come up, you allow the machine to stretch the hamstrings a little bit more. So throughout the 10 repetitions, you're going to feel that you can come a little bit higher. And now leg circles. So go down and out. That's good, out and down and around. So again, keep the circles small, almost only shoulder width apart. Control the legs. The beauty of Aero Pilates is that the straps are the same length and you have to work symmetrically. But it's in exercises like this that you begin to see whether you're stronger on one side than the other. And the miracle of this machine is that it helps you become more symmetrical, which is key to good posture and no pain. So great, leg circles. Also the inner thigh is working.
And I changed directions in there.
Yes. Did you change
I
directions?
did, yes.
Yeah, great, okay. So now carefully take your feet out of the straps, and we're going to do some lying arms in straps first. So arms are straight up in the air, feet go into the chair position, and let's just do circles, Sky. So down, around, 5 in each direction. If you want to make this harder, you can extend your legs to 45. It just engages more of your core. We have 2 chords on. If you want to work your arms a little bit more and your shoulders, you can add a chord. If you want to work your core more, you might take a chord away. And it's important not to let the platform hit the end here. You work with control. Good. All right, so now sitting arms in straps. So roll off carefully and sit back with your back against the shoulder pads and cross legs. Now, if you can't cross your legs, you can also do these exercises with your legs straight out in front, lifted a little bit so the legs are engaged. If that happens, it makes the exercise harder, in which case you might pivot forward a little bit. Can you just show that? Pivot forward a little bit from the hips, or you can bend your knees and put your feet on the platform. So the other thing is when you cross your legs one way, after that next exercise, cross them the other way. So balance it out. Don't ever do anything repetitively on one side. It's important to engage the muscles of the other side as well. So the first one is hug a tree. Good. So just turn your hands more like in ballet. Nice. Arms, elbows are soft. Is 2 chords too much?
No, it's okay.
It's all right?
It's
Good.
tough, but it's okay.
Okay. Again, shoulder blades come together and slide down your back. So I really want you to start engaging these muscles of your back and not just your shoulders and your arms. So 10, hug a tree. We're opening up, we're stretching and strengthening. I love that. Aero Pilates is brilliant because it does that at the same time. You stretch and you strengthen in each exercise. Salute would be next. So arms come up to this position. Turn, you might need to reduce the cord, you'll tell me. And again, it's from the forehead to where the ceiling meets the wall. It's a tricep exercise, but again, upper body, shoulders, keep your neck long, feel like your head is a natural extension. You're pivoted forward, as you can see, from your hips. Did you cross your feet the other way? Cross your legs the other way? Good. All right, and after this, chest expansion. So we're going to turn around, face the other way. I'm going to take a cord off because it's much harder. So it's pull, hold, turn your head. Nice.
Seven.
So now we can do a half tricep. So it's actually bend your elbows and straighten your arms. Good. No, so arms are long, and it's just, instead of a full arm chest expansion, you're just working the triceps. Good. And I like that you did that with your legs. So if you're not crossing your legs, you can put your legs out bent or straight in front of you. So this is nice for the triceps. It gets rid of that bye-bye wave that women can't stand.
Yeah, this is great because I feel that expansion, but also in the triceps.
Right, so you're opening your chest, which again, I think we spend our lives in this forward flex position. So our heads go forward, our necks get sore, our chest gets tight. So it's lovely to open that up. It improves your posture, it makes you look younger. Everything about it is great. So now let's just do biceps. So bring the arms forward and sitting tall and curl. Good, so 1. Now on this, you might be able to do 1 more chord. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, so let me add 1. Again, you're going to have to decide what the right resistance is for your level. Better?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So 10. So we really want to create tone, definition in our arms. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Don't hunch and shove your shoulders up around your neck. And now a bicep curl. So the way you get into bicep curl is you roll. So come back up and articulate from here and roll down into a curl. Elbows into your side and now curl. Good. So again, can you see her neck is a nice extension of her spine? You can look down a little bit. There you go. Is that still good on 2 chords?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and now the assisted sit-up. So now arms are long. You might want to scoot up a little bit and hold the straps higher here. And what we're doing is we're using our Aero Pilates Reformer to help us engage our abdominals in a sit-up that's called assisted because the machine's helping you. So on 2 chords, it's going to be a little bit easier than 1. So we're going to start on 2, but you may be strong enough in your core to be able to go down to 1. So again, you're articulating, rolling from the tailbone down. Good, and now coming up, leading with your head. So the first one is the straps are in between her knees because we want to work the entire front of the core. Let's do 5.
Okay. 2 more. That's 4.
And now we'll work our obliques. So the way you do that is roll the knees to one side. Now she's working more of the oblique abdominal muscles. Make sure that both sits bones are evenly still on your platform. So even though your knees are rolled to the side, your hips are still firmly on the platform. And shoulders are facing evenly forward. And now the other side, great. Now the next exercise, we're going to sit sideways and do a twist. So drop your strap. I'm going to reduce the chords to 1. And again, Skye's going to sit cross-legged, but if you can't, actually just put your feet on the floor and just do 1 twist for me, pull and side. There you go, great. So you can do that too, but you're going to do it cross-legged. So let's do 5. So I want you to pay attention to both sits bones are on the platform and you're rotating from your hips. So the whole torso rotates and the head follows along with the spine, so you don't turn the head first. Shoulders are evenly placed. Relax so this distance is nice and long between the ear and the shoulder.
That was 5.
Okay, and now turn around and do the other side. We talked about side bending, we talked about twisting. It's important to get rotation into your workout too every single day because our spine has the ability to rotate, and often you'll find if you can't turn your head properly or you can't really reach around, it's because you've become really stiff. So plus it whittles down your waist, so if getting your waist smaller is what you want, stomach massage is next, then that's a great exercise. So 2 chords to begin with. Feet are on the bar, hands are on the platform, on the corners of the platform. Now let's do the setup first. So the goal is to create a C curve in your lower back. So the way you do that is you reach up and over as if you're hollowing up over a big beach ball. And it's hollowing the abdominals up and in and lifting. Sits bones are evenly placed on the platform, and the neck is still relaxed and the shoulders are relaxed. So first inhale and then push away. Exhale and come in, and as you come in, you're creating more of a C curve. So it's almost the feeling that your tailbone is coming forward as you pull the platform forward. This is also a great exercise for the Kegel muscles. So deep pelvic floor muscles get worked out here too. So let's do 5.
Okay, that was the 5th.
That's 5. All right, so now with a straight back. So it's really just reaching back, but we will, completely straight. So that's good. You can reach, but can you reach the shoulder pads? Yeah. So we want to open up the chest and make the back straight with the same exact exercise. So again, as she squeezes her knees together, we're zipping up that area in between using the inner thighs. Good. And sitting very tall, neck is long, shoulders are relaxed. Romana used to always say after this exercise that everybody got up and went to the bathroom. Something about, it's called stomach massage because somehow it really massages the intestine and inside in that cavity. So it's a great exercise. Plus I love how it engages the pelvic floor. The third one is reaching up. So now pivot at your hips, reach forward and really feel the energy coming this way. So straighten your legs. Sometimes you might need to reduce a cord. What do you think?
That's okay.
You're okay? All right, so good. So it's inhale as you go out, which is the opposite of what we've been talking about, but because you're coming in and you're trying to, everything's contracting, you actually exhale on the way in. So reach, 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 reach.
Maybe if somebody's not so flexible, they can sit farther back.
That's true, and with men as well. I think men have, or if you've got a big belly, you're going to have to sit further back on the platform. So it's brilliant that you said that, yes. But the goal is to sit as far front as you can so that you really get that intense, deep massage. Knee stretches, so kneeling on the platform now, and the setup is important too. So knees are really hip width apart, feet are against the shoulder pads. Hands are on the bar, shoulder width apart. So do you see that everything's aligned perfectly in the box, as Joe Pilates would say. So lean back on your haunches a little bit and hollow up through here. Relax your head a little bit more. So again, we've created that C curve. So you see the stretch in her spine. It's called stomach massage with a round back. Now the movement is pushing away, pivoting at the hips and pulling forward using the deep pelvic floor Kegel muscles. Good. So you really only go back so that your legs are perpendicular. So it's not a big, big movement. It's a small movement. It's controlled. Let's do 5. Pull forward. Feels great, doesn't it, on your spine because you're getting a lovely stretch. Great for pregnant women. And then the second version of this is with an arch in your back. So you really want almost to stick your bottom in the air. And the range is a little bit further this time. Good. And pull forward using your pelvic floor. Look up a little bit. Nice. Where do you feel the stretch?
All through here.
Great.
And all through here.
Yes. So the lower back gets a great stretch and the hamstrings up into the hip joint. So now go right into down stretch, which is coming up into exactly. This is an upper body exercise. So now Skye's pivoting at her shoulders. This stays completely straight using her core stabilizers. She can hold that plank position and follow your eyes up as you come forward. But the goal is to have a straight back. So we'll do 5. 5, and now elephant. So straight up into the standing elephant position. Again, notice how on your reformer, it's brilliantly designed to be aligned so that your body is always in the right position. You can't do it wrong. So let's come back into the beginning and let's do this. We did the setup earlier, so you're gonna bend, good, and hollow, right. So did you see that? There's a bending that allows for a stretch, and then again that C curve is created so that her spine is actually stretched here. The movement again just pivots at the hips, pushing away with your heels evenly, only a little way, and then pulling forward and lifting through here as you pull forward. So come forward and lift, lift, lift. Good. Let's do 10.
I find it helps when each time I come in to think about that hollowing.
Yes, so it's lifting up through here. This is one exercise that I often do live on television and show how much more flexible you become. You know, people can barely touch their toes, and after 10 elephant, they can suddenly put their hands on the floor. Standing side series. So the standing splits is the first exercise. Step off for a second because I want to talk about getting on the machine safely. And don't do this standing work if you don't feel confident that your core is strong enough to maintain the balance of a moving platform. We have a box and pole. The box includes a pole that you can use for stability, or even a broomstick would work. So I'm going to take the foot bar out, and you're going to stand on the standing platform first because that's not moving, and then place your foot comfortably here and then just scooch it out. You know, using sort of, yes, exactly. Do you feel safe?
Yes.
All right, so arms are out to the sides, very tall, and you feel almost like you're a puppet with a string. So pushing away and coming, squeezing in. So again, on more chords, Skye will be using her outer thighs to make the movement. So on that particular series, you would exhale as you push away, because that's where the work